Yes, we're live. We're live.
Okay.
We're live. Yes. Welcome to I can't say paint and spill because it's not paint and spill. Welcome to my live show.
Completely different.
Right. It should be paint and spill, but due to, circumstances that's going on now, we have to be apart. But the show still must go on. So, welcome. With me today, I have somebody extraordinary, somebody multi talented, and somebody who is gifted in my favorite subject, mathematics. I just want to welcome Mr. Tamar Daniels. Welcome, Mr. Daniels.
Hello.
Somebody's already here with us watching. Welcome. Deal, Heal, Motivate. Welcome, other three persons that are watching, and those of you who will watch later. Welcome. So, Mr. Daniels, my guest today, I mentioned the last thing that he was gifted in my favorite subject, mathematics. So, Mr. Daniels, when did you decide that you love you had a passion for mathematics?
That's a very funny question for you to ask because growing up all my life, it wasn't a case where I was so passionate about math. It kind of just happened like that. Um, I was someone who once struggled with the subject, and it's kind of crazy the fact that, something you once struggled in, you're now exceeding in and you're now able to impact lives in that same
Right,
fashion, right? But I do recall being in the 11th grade and a particular college came and they recruited me. I had gotten a full scholarship to study math. And from there, I just kept moving. And I just grown to love the process throughout, matriculating and kind of just getting the feel and the vibe and kind of trying
right.
to understand the under nuances of the subject overall.
So how did you how what was the turning point for you? Like what changed? Make you say, me can do this? From not performing well in there to making a 360. What said uh somebody's asking where did you get the full scholarship to study math?
Oh, okay. So I got the full scholarship to study at the Michael University College, and I majored in mathematics,
Why them
right?
say university college?
Well,
Why them
you know, I wish I knew the answer myself, but I think it's
say
just in the transitioning stages of going from a college to a university. But that is just my personal take on it.
Oh, so he got this scholarship to study at Michael University, one of the prestigious universities in
Here,
Jamaica,
here,
producing
teaching
top
institution.
producing top quality teachers, especially in math. Like when you talk to people from Michael, you have to say the Michael,
The Michael.
the Michael. So did you have any issues while studying it at the tertiary level?
College is always a struggle for everyone. There are never beautiful days. There are never, days where just criminal and crime and you're ready to go. You're gonna have your struggles naturally, going to coursework and trying to manage a school social life and trying to
Mhm.
really navigate in a whole new environment by yourself, as it was. When I went to college, I was 16, and it was a whole new kettle of fish, considering the fact that the high school environment and the college environment were two completely different things, and it wasn't like a case where I did sixth form to be abreast with certain
Right.
nuances, certain behaviors, or anything like that. I just went chuck in right out of water. In fact, I
Right.
was one of the youngest males on hall, and it
Did
really
you get
did
did
allow
you
me.
did you get grub? Did you get grub? These people going to distance school, they don't know they don't know the grub culture.
You are missing out if you're online. But of
I
course,
mean,
everybody goes through that process. Unfortunately for God on my side, in the same week I was supposed to get grubbed, I was diagnosed with conjunctivitis and I had to be sent home. Right. But look at God. But
Paul,
then again,
Paul in the chat is saying he thought that NCU was the top. NCU is one of the top. You have to understand. You have to share the greatness, right?
absolutely.
There's space at the top for everybody. So Michael produced top quality teachers. NCU produced top quality pastors and nurses. You know, everybody have them little space at the top. Oh, I was talking. I was just calling the name. The name that said, "Hi, Roger." Oh my God. You alright? So, other than having a passion for math, Roger also has a passion for math. Hi, Roger. So, other than having a
Well,
passion for math, what are other things? I know you've won a few, if not several, public speaking competition. So you like to speak publicly, right? What else are you
oh yes.
interested in?
Well, I am actually a poet. I write poetry in my own time. So I think I'm a little creative where that is concerned. And a lot of
So,
persons, hmm?
did you take any poem to share with me? Did you
You
take
know,
any poem to share with me?
I have a whole bunch. I have a whole bunch, but let's just reserve that for another time.
You know, alright, alright. I may say I want to hear the poem. Like you come and mention say you read poem and I share. Listen, bring up one. Bring
Okay,
up one of your email or something.
okay, all right, okay, I will.
All right, one on the spot. Come on, right one on the spot.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up one.
Yes, while we wait. So Mr. Daniels is very multi-talented and he's very active. He's me go and list out the things them way I don't know why you look for the poem here.
Okay, all
So
right.
he's currently serving in the following capacities. You say one line, Elvy, then he say another. Like like me start the poem and listen to me, Raja. You think me creative, but no, I'm not. Me can't do that. Me not so creative. All right. So he's currently serving as the National Youth Parliamentarian. He is the Youth MP for Central Clarendon. He is the Youth Republican. We never hear about one day before. I've got to tell me about one day when we hear the poem, right?
Sure,
He
sure, sure.
is the young Jamaica's area council 3 coordinator and chapter secretary. My youth, where you find the time? So tell us the poem, and then we'll talk about these all these
Okay,
positions that you have.
sure, sure. All right. So this poem is entitled "Truth Is." Truth is, I'm just a fragmented swan, feathered by insecurities, timidly masquerading it all in the purest of anxieties. And yes, that is my raw reality. If only I could wash away the taint of my wings, to submerge self into a sea not clouded by obscurity, to swim without mental doubts and fins, to fly in the wind, flaunting nothing but wind. Truth is, that is as idealistic as my destiny. Because unlike people, I don't come with insurance. I only depend on Mother Nature's scarce reassurance, in hopes of sparing my life in a world full of vultures. I guess that's just the inevitable culture. Truth is, I'm nature dependent, desperately thirsting for life independence. I must confess on this day that yes, I do dwell in a cage, that I'm held captive by my own abstract fears, and that every day is like wearing the dullest of page. Everyone says, live your truth, but truth is, I rather overdose on some booze, only to drench in the chronicles of my abuse in hope of some breakthrough. I self sabotage. Maybe that's just my way of paying homage to the facade. Truth is, I live a facade. An insecure, imprisoned, and inconspicuous one, navigating through the dawn. Truth is, I'm just a fragmented swan. The end.
Wow. Who is the subject in this poem? Is it you or you were writing about somebody else?
I was actually writing about a close friend of mine. This was actually a poem I co-wrote,
Oh,
right? And this is actually
'cause-
the first time ever performing that poem in
right,
this type of.
right. Because I was gonna ask if you have you ever heard about imposter syndrome?
No, I have not.
Like you're doing so well, but you think like you're faking it, but you are
Mm,
actually doing well, but you feel like you're faking it. So when you were reading and mentioning like insecurities and stuff, I was wondering if it was about you and if you're struggling with like imposter syndrome, like you're doing well, but there's this something in your mind that is telling you that listen, nah, you're a faker, you know. Let
mm,
me see if we can get one formal definition for imposter syndrome for you, because a lot of persons who do well suffer from imposter syndrome.
mm. I think everybody has a little touch of it. I don't think
Right.
it's
I think
something
so too.
definitive, right? For
I
example,
think
me.
so too. So, imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. It disproportionately affects high achieving people who find it difficult to accept their accomplishments. So you're succeeding really, but your mind is saying, "Ah, you fake, you fake, you fake." Like for me, every time I do something worthy of acknowledgement, I say, no, sir, not worth it. But that's a good point.
You know,
How do you jump from being passionate about mathematics to interested in politics? Were you always interested in politics?
I just believe that there are certain things in life that just happen just because of nature. I remember I was in college one day, and mind you, there used to be a time in my life where every time when somebody said politics, I'm like,
Right, because
but
there's so much that surrounds being a
yeah,
politician that you don't want to be associated with.
exactly, a lot of things. But I do recall one day being at university, and they said that we were supposed to join a club and society, right? And I was walking around in a fair one day, and 224, I saw this really big green sign, right, from
Mm-hmm.
Generation 2000. And I don't know what possessed me to walk over there, but I just
Right.
saw my legs walking. Saw my legs walking, and I was
Curiosity. You
speaking
were
to
curious.
very curious. I don't know what happened. My mind was saying no, but my legs were saying yes, and I was just moving as quickly as possible. Right? I ended up seeing the head of the organization, and they were talking a lot about the projects that they do and the things that they do and how they impact people. And I feel like that's where my passion lies, impacting people. And
Right.
I just felt like politics is just an avenue where I can just further expand on that brand. And
Right. Right. So
I
no,
first,
you are associated with a particular arm, right?
yes, yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. So tell me
Oh,
about the National Youth Parliamentarian. How do I get involved in something like that?
okay. Well, in my year, everything was done cyber. So it first things first, we had to go through an intensive interview process.
Right.
After you enter that interview process, after you're selected, you have to go through intense vetting personally. And then one day I just got up and I saw that I was accepted. And this application and that particular post means so much to me because there was a time where I thought that I couldn't. I used to wake up and watch every November, get up and watch some seatings, and I'm like, when can I do that? when can I actually go up there and do that?
Right.
And you look around and you see people and they're not really interested in those type of things, but somehow it just grabbed me and I said, you know what, this is a dream that I really want to do one day. And can you believe that I procrastinated for 3 whole years in submitting my application just
Mm-hmm.
to say I'm gonna do it? I procrastinated 3 whole years. Right? I remember one particular year, I got to the end of the application. I'm about to press send, and then someone's like, "What am I doing? What am I doing?" And I just moved, and I just cleared everything and just went on with my life. But I
Right.
believe that 2020 happened, 2021 happened, and I believe that those years are testaments of saying anything can happen, right?
And
So I just
anything.
tried in good faith and just press the send button and just hope for the best. And apparently the best came through. And
Right.
I have to thank God for that.
Right. So, how about the one youth MP for Clarendon Central, for Central
Yes,
Clarendon?
yes. So that came,
What are some of the tasks that you cover under this post? What are some
well,
duties you had under this post?
Well, of course, you have to go into constituencies. So I would have to be up on the road, all about conducting meetings, doing needs assessment, really talking to constituents within those communities, seeing what their needs are, trying to address them as best as you can, and
Mhm.
hope that you can institute something that will be productive for everyone to take part in.
Oh, so do you have any project ideas that could uh
I have a whole list. I have a whole list of things that I really want to do. But I'm not at liberty to speak up most of them. But I will
right,
say that some of them you will be able to see straight across that
right.
constituency. And I really
Okay.
plan on focusing on youth. I believe that that's where the central focus should be, right? So I'm
That
gonna be focusing on youth.
that's where it should be. That's where it
Yeah,
should be, the youth, because these people have this tendency to side mouth young people,
y-
dismissing them because of age, which I think is a really bad practice. These young people, although they have made some silly decisions, let us get that out there. But apart
yeah,
from that, there is wisdom and knowledge amongst the youths. They are so, and I think that if we're thinking about the future, we have to consult with the age group that's gonna be in the future. You cannot
yeah,
make decision at for the future when you all of your life is already behind you. So I think that, like I've said it on social media, and I'll say it on live on air, that when I start my company, one of my consultants must be a teenager. One of my consultants
mm,
must be a youth. You cannot be so
yeah,
disconnected from the culture or the know of it, right? So you have to respect the young people. The generations before that, before us try to dismiss us, millennials, them no know nothing, them lazy and dismiss us. And I see some millennials now trying to dismiss this upcoming generation, which I think is a really bad thing to do, because the same underestimation that we got, we're giving it to the Gen Z. And we had potential, we had knowledge, we had vision. So the Gen Z, they must have vision too. So
yeah.
that's just my
I
take
think
on,
that
if I were, I would definitely focus on the youth. So the one that I've never heard of before, though, the youth Republican. The youth
mhm.
Republican. Tell me
Well,
about
the
that
Youth
one.
Republic. Okay,
Ruby?
so the Youth Republic,
Right.
right? So that is a new arm that's actually coming out here in Jamaica. It has been internationally acclaimed. And basically, it aligns to practically the same things I would be doing as a youth parliamentarian. So, of course, I will
Mhm.
be instituting projects straight across Jamaica. We have a whole bunch of things that we're going to be doing, a lot of virtual conferences, and we're going to be speaking on controversial issues and societal things that really need to be rectified and really need to have that conversation about,
Give
right?
give me
So,
one controversial topic that give me one topic that you think is controversial. Which topic?
well,
Which right now?
right now, I would try not to, but since you asked, I think the whole perception of what the vaccine is all about.
What the
No, I
vaccine
think
is
that
all about?
yes,
Do you
what the
think
vaccine is about.
that the push and pull with the vaccine, all the debates lying around the vaccine was propelled by social media, like all the misinformation, disinformation, because in the years past, when they didn't have access to social media, whatever, persons would willingly go and get vaccine, line up them picnic, go and get vaccine. So, at the end of this, if I were somebody that was in love with research, I would research like the role social media play in people's willingness to take the vaccine. Like if I were a researcher. But
Yeah.
Elvis Elvis Salter is not a researcher, so no. But I really do think that this this social media gave persons a platform to voice their disdain, and then everybody just pick it up, run with it, and they have people say them not want it.
Yeah.
So okay,
No,
the
but
fourth
hmm?
repeat.
No, but
What
I
did you say?
also think that social media is a really good tool, and I
It
feel
is.
like people try to negate the whole purpose of to what social media is really
Right.
about. And the whole purpose of what social media is about is to give everyone a voice. But I feel like
It is
when persons
troubling.
are given a voice, it kind of just misconstrues what the facts are, and it kind of allows persons to become hesitant to things that should be able to help everyone progress. So my quote on this is that do whatever you believe is right for you, not only you, but the entire nation at hand. If you take the vaccine, that's perfectly fine. If you don't take the vaccine, that's perfectly fine. But as long as you're doing
And
something in order to prevent yourself contracting it, people around you from contracting it, and essentially the nation, then you should not have a problem.
right. Another controversial topic is that religion. But
Mhm.
like I said,
Yeah,
we won't pick up any controversial topics in this, right?
yeah,
So, tell me about the Young Jamaica's Area Council 3. There's so many things out there that people could be doing that we don't know about. Tell us about that
yeah,
one. Young Jamaica's Area Council 3 coordinator. Are we in Area 3? Like
yes,
our
we are. Yes,
oh,
right. So Area 3 consists of Clarendon and St. Anne, and basically our job is quintessentially in the same breath as politics. So we'll go out and we'll do our constituency visits, do projects, volunteerism projects. We
right.
have these type of sessions where we can go on here and kind of just interact with the youth and just really just relax, basically.
Right.
So I believe it's just a youth organization that is built and set on us using our voices and using our platforms to impact the society in any way, shape, or form, whether it be through volunteerism or any other way in which you believe can help. Anyone can join between the ages of 18 and 40. So you, even yourself, can join.
Episode that. Highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. So according to this profile that I have of you, that's like four positions outside of work. So what are some of the things that you do to balance these positions, work, and your personal interests?
Well, it all comes down to organization and scheduling, right? All comes down to organization and scheduling. So
What
if you know,
what's your biggest organizational tip that you give some what kind of advice somebody wants to become more organized, what kind of advice would you give to this person?
okay, advice, own a calendar. own a calendar, synchronize it to everything. Like what I normally tell persons to do when you're trying to schedule things with me, send it through my email. Once it's sent through my email, it's synced to my calendar and I'll be able to see my lineup for a day. And then from there, I even have this big whiteboard behind me. I write things down in case I forget them. Kind of just force them out and move along and see how best I can move things to cater for everything so everything gets a little bit of attention from my
Right. It's it's funny that you say calendar because Elvy Salter don't talk to anybody without looking at her calendar. I don't even
Mm,
say yes to a phone call until I look at my calendar. And some
like,
my
oh,
my close people in my circle like know that they can't call me today for tomorrow unless it's
mm,
an emergency, and then I just don't have any choice. But if it's like any plans, any show up, anything, you have to tell me like 2 weeks before because the calendar there, calendar something there.
yeah,
That's real
just
solid advice. Like work with the calendar, put things into your calendar.
yeah,
Hi, Tasha. Mm-hmm.
work
Put
with your
things
calendar,
in a calendar. Yes. So
right?
do you love serving on these boards? Do you love
Oh,
serving on
yeah.
these boards?
I think that's what keeps me going, the love and the passion for it, right? Because somebody will just look at my schedule someday and be like, is all of this really worth it? But
Yeah, is it
I
worth it?
believe
Is it worth it?
yeah, it is. Trust me. If I think it really helps me in terms of character development. I,
Right,
like it or not, I used to be very much sheltered, very much introverted, and I feel like
right.
these little platforms of just going out and talking and interacting with people and really getting other perspectives that open my mind
Did
to
you
help
have
me.
did you have any leadership position at school? Like high school
Oh,
there are tertiary education?
yeah, sure. That's one of my things. I used to do a lot of things like that. So when I was in high school, I was a student council representative. I was
Right,
a peer counselor. I was a prefect. I was a monitor. I was a
right.
treasurer. I was a club coordinator. There's a lot of things that I did within that time in high school, and I feel like high school is really that training ground for you to really develop, right? So when you see these things up, if you feel like you can do it, just go ahead and do it. Trust me, I believe that's what allowed me to have the command in leadership now.
Right.
Um, yeah. University, the same thing went on. I was the club master. If you literally ask anyone on my campus, they would tell me, "Oh, Termario, club master, he did everything." Right? So I was a treasurer for like several
Yeah.
different clubs. I was a secretary. I was a vice president at one point.
Right.
I was a committee member. I had meetings upon meetings. I was one of those people who tried his best to be involved, right? But I
Right.
feel like that just allows you to get different experiences.
Right. Good evening, Gadu. Gadu. Good evening. Yes. Nice to wife. So we're talking a little politics and a little we're talking with Mr. Daniels, mathematics teacher and very active budding politician. So all these youth position, right? Do you think that you have a future in working with politics? Are you gonna go into representational politics like MP or something? Are you gonna go there?
I am, in all honesty, I'm just going with the flow of life. Most of these things that happened to me personally were not things that I planned. It wasn't a
Right,
plan, it wasn't a schedule. I just got up one day and things just kind of just happened and things just came for me. And I
right.
believe that what is for you will be for you. So if it's in my future, then I will go for it. But if it's
But
not, then
see,
it's just not.
I'm only asking because you seem to be really enjoying it. So I'm saying, based on the fact that you're enjoying it, are you gonna put in a plan to go in, or it just whether here in a year that are there to you? If it happen, it happen.
I think I would always want to elevate. I always
Right,
want to elevate. And I've always want to, build on my brand as a person.
right,
So if it's inside these avenues that I can really see the opportunity to build, then I would definitely go for it, all hands for it. Right? I think that's the thing about being a young person now. People don't just look for whether or not you just have the brains alone. People
right,
look for whether or not you can really captivate and move on and really balance everything, right? So
right,
yeah, you're at one place now. I believe that you should be able to try and move up the avenue and see whether or not it's the best thing for you. But personally, right now, I'm just having fun and enjoying the experience and really trying to build my brand as a person.
right. That's well. That's a good way to approach it, and I'm really proud of you to be taking on so much. You could be doing anything else. You could be playing what them the youths them play these days. I don't know. You could be playing some online game. You could be saying
PUBG
this.
and the whole
You,
works.
right, you could be saying this is my youth, my time to be wild, but you chose to fill it with service, and that's something uh, anybody would be proud of. So I just want you to add me to the record of persons who are extremely proud of you to be venturing out like this, and whatever you decide to do in the future, I hope it works well. But let us go back to the math teacher thing. So school will start tomorrow. You ready? Are you
You
ready?
just have to go. You just have to get up and go and really make up your mind.
You just have to get up and go.
Like,
So how are you preparing for the new school
oh,
year?
in fact, before today, I was sitting down and really getting my Google Classrooms in order and looking for worksheets. And I'm one of those organized people. I had to schedule in that time because if it wasn't today, it wasn't going to be any other day.
Yeah,
Right?
kill me. I
Right?
admire that you have already started to process this school year. I really do admire that. Some of us are still catching after straws. We're still drowning from academic year 2020 2021. We are drowning.
No,
But that's
like
good.
I
That's
just had to schedule the time because if I didn't do it, then I don't know where I would be, which is why I'm so calm about tomorrow.
do you have any
Because you,
do you have any
what I
back to
mean,
school ritual? Do you have any back to school rituals that you want to share? Like what you do personally?
meditate every single morning, right? I feel like mental health persons don't understand the magnitude of how important it is, especially navigating on an online space. We're used to going to school and then coming home and isolating the two variables and saying, okay, that's that, right? But really, work has become home has become work. So
Right.
you just have to be able to really
Separate
take
the
time
two.
for yourself. Yeah, take
Right.
time for yourself, right? So I'm one of those people who would get up at 6 o'clock and I'll just lay in bed right there and just meditate and really think and organize and know exactly my intentions for the day. I feel like those self affirmations you make in the morning are so important for you to move on.
Right.
Because if it is that you're,
I need to
hmm?
take I need to take a leaf out a yearbook regarding meditation and organization. Like I think I need to, because at the beginning of the school year last year, like thereabout is like I was gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
That's
No,
how
I
I
think that's
started.
what online.
That's
I think
that's how
that's
I
what
started.
online.
Okay, I
Online,
think yeah,
hmm?
the online was really gonna drive me insane. That's how I started painting. And then
Mm.
I was painting to de-stress. And then I say, we can turn this in our show. And then that's how I turned it into paint and spill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but the meditation thing, I want for this school year, I want to approach it more less burden, more positive, and see if I can be fruitful because last year never worked out none at all for me. So
Oh,
I'm gonna adapt your meditation rituals in the morning, and I'm gonna see if that will help me to be a better online teacher because being a teacher in the classroom is really different than being a virtual teacher. It's like two different things. And even though I might have thrived when I was face to face, Elvis Salter did not thrive online.
mm.
So I have to
No,
at least, but
no, I was saying that online requires you to have a certain level of discipline, right?
ex-
It requires you to really go above and beyond. It requires you to do a lot of research, right? It really requires you to have a lot of patience and temperament, right?
yeah,
And I feel like people, and I don't know if I'm being skewed here, but I feel like persons outside don't really understand the nuances as to what really happens into a classroom, right?
just
So when they
there.
say that we're at home and we're here teaching, right? They're saying, "Oh, we're not doing anything. We're just sitting down there and not doing any. We're just sitting down there
Right.
and existing." But really, people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. The whole faulty ad. I remember I once had a cell phone, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you're teaching a class out of 40 children, mind you, I teach math, so I don't have segmented time, right? If you post one work and you want it one time, it is default the picture is coming in your inbox one time tomorrow, right? And you have to get those in and move it on because if you don't, then it's going to pile up on you and then you won't be able to make deadlines and things of that nature, right?
Right,
So
right,
it is harder online than it is face to face because while it is that you could have isolated the two variables, be that home and school, where you can say, okay, I'm gonna leave the test papers at work, I'm gonna mark them at work, and when I come home I
right,
get to relax. We don't have that division anymore. We
right.
have okay, you're at work, your workstation is right next to your bed. Right? So you have to
So
really
we need
prioritize.
to we need to find a way to even at home to separate school from work. So if we can have a time, we can have a dedicated work area if you have the space that is, and you have
Mhm.
a time that you go to that area and a time that you leave that area. And when you leave that area, you know do nothing regarding school. What I plan to do is I plan to end everything pertaining to school at 5:30.
I
And
do too.
to me that's fair because school closes at 2:30. And if I'm going to give 3 hours extra, to me that's fair. So this is my plan. I'm going to stop taking calls at 4 o'clock regarding school. So any student, any teacher, if you don't come in before 4 o'clock, I'm going to stop taking the calls. And then I have 1.5 hours to go through whatever assignment me did give you, and then
Mm.
but done, I come on my bed, come lay down at 5:30. You understand? I'm gonna see, you can say you're gonna do it, and then it not happen.
Yeah.
You can say you're gonna do it and it don't happen. But I think even mentally separating work from home is gonna have we're gonna have to do that for maintaining our sanity in the upcoming year. So
Mm. And
Mr.
that's the
Mr.
thing. I wanted to make this thing though, but that's the thing. I think I took inspiration from my mom when she's also a teacher. And I see the way how she works. I see how she's able to manage everything overall,
Your
right?
mother
And
boss. Dear, mo-
listen, the
dear mother,
work she does, the work that she does, I really took inspiration from that. I think she's the reason why I'm more organized now than
right.
I was back then.
Your mother is very organized, and she not ramp with work, with marking work. She not carry
You
it
know what?
in her space
Listen,
unless she have to, and it a then a one box by itself. Cause you know what?
real super teacher, real super teacher.
Right.
Right? I think it's just now I'm able to learn from her and she learned from me. Cause while it is that she has all of those things, she has to learn all the technology side, and I have to learn the,
Right.
organization time, especially being new to the whole thing. You know,
Right.
I'm just 21. I just turned 21 the other day, right? So I really built from her experience and really heard her. There's even times where we sit down and really talk about her day, talk about things that really happened back in her time, and kind of like
Right.
contemporize it so that we can all move forward.
Right. Mr. Daniels, I'm really happy that you could have come and talk with me today. Those of you who are watching, like I see two people watching, but others will watch after. Those of you who are watching, where I'm sitting with Tamar Daniels, a math teacher. You know, Miss Salter loves math teacher. I really do love math teachers. Like when you teach maths, me just automatically love you. And then he also served in other capacities like National Youth Parliamentarian for 2021, Youth MP for Clarendon 2021, Central Clarendon, Youth Republican 2021, Youth Jamaica's Area Council 3 Coordinator, and the Chapter Secretary 2021. And I'm going to ask you to leave our children with some Yes, Badu, I've just seen your comment. Hi. I just want you to leave some encouragement with the youth. Leave one specifically for the young people, and then leave one specifically for the generation above us that's currently in the leadership positions. So you're
Okay.
giving two advice. You're giving two advice.
Okay. For the youth, all work and no play make Jack a very dull boy. As cliche as it sounds, it is what it is. I feel like now is the time where you should be able to, you know how it run already. You know exactly how online is. You know how taxing it can be. Really spend the time to organize yourself. From it is
Right,
that you're organized, you'll be able to navigate through the online platform with a sense of ease and confidence, right? Own a planner, write down assignments, actually try and set reminders. They work. Trust me and really try to stick to that. Have a little time to watch TV, play your PUBG, and watch Netflix because we all want to do so too, right?
right,
But all work and no play make Jack a very dull boy. For the generation above me, right? Is
right.
that correct?
Yeah, the one above us, yeah.
Preserve your mental health. Preserve your mental health. Do not overwhelm yourself. There is going to be times where you can say, I really can't do this. It's okay to say no to certain opportunities. It's okay to say yes. It's okay to put yourself at a high standard and a high discipline and a high, keep yourself actualized, right? It's
Right.
okay. Just take it a day at a time, even if it's a second. And remember that life is a journey. You don't have to run to reach where you need to go. You can always
Right.
walk.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't have said it any better. And I really appreciate you coming and working with me today. Hopefully
Sure, no
after
problem.
hopefully after all this and we can go back to some form of movement, we can have it in person. I hope. Let's
I
hope.
hope
It doesn't look like we're going back to any movement days so far. So thank you for
people stay
coming.
home.
What did you say?
People stay home. Stay
Yeah,
home.
stay home if you have to. If you definitely not have to go on the road, kind of your yard. So thank you for coming, Mr. Daniels. It was great having you. It was a delight working with you. I wish you all the best for this new school year. And you seem to have everything under control. So I don't have any word of advice for you.
Please.
You seem to have it under control, and you're under good guidance from your mommy. So thank you for coming. Where they can find you? Or is your social media open?
Okay, so while my social media is private, you can follow me at geekaholic underscore underscore or geek charming underscore underscore on Twitter.
Okay. Oh, if it was, if you wanted to keep it private, you didn't have to, because I think I figured it was private. So, but if anybody wants to follow you, I guess you just vet them and approve them if you
Yeah,
want.
that's
I I
another thing.
I had mine on private for a while, but then the video went viral and I was getting too much followers, so I had to open it. Then
Yeah.
last week I private it again, and then I said, "No, man, no sense, yeah, make it just stay open." So it's now open. My social media is now open. So thank you, Mr. Daniels. All the best for the school year.
Thank you and
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.